Going not live, straight from the cuff. Got some things on my mind that I could write out and maybe have a little bit more planned, but I don't think that's really the proper way to do this. I think the proper way is to let it fall the way it may. And, some of it I thought was amusing. Amusing and funny are two, what could you call them, synonyms to a degree. They can be something that's amusing can be funny and vice versa. Well, anyhow, someone said, well, as I was waiting to go to work the other day at day labor, we're sitting there and it's thinning out and looking like I'm not going to get sent out to work that day. And somebody said, well, it could be worse. We could be over in Israel, and I said, well, that might be a little more fun, And another guy looks at me from a whole different angle and he said, I could feel the animosity coming my way, and I get that, because, and then I had to put my own thoughts in perspective and think about those terms, because this meant battle, because that's what he was talking about. He's talking about being a war over there and the battle and stuff like that. And, and I did have to put that in perspective because I'm not a killing man. I don't like to, the thoughts of taking life is not something I ever want to have to do. And so I thought, and I said, well, if it's done with squirt guns, we have a battle with squirt guns. And I thought that was kind of a funny thing. It was amusing trickle out, because it was my incorrect thinking to begin with to say that's be more fun, being as the uneventfulness of the waiting, being absolute misery. Purgatory, this is a word that's for that. Purgatory is different than hell. Somebody says hell is war. Well, water battle isn't necessarily hell. A water battle can be paradise to a degree. So a water battle would be a different thing, And so, and then you think about that in the terms of, if Palestine and Israel was engaged in a water battle, if that's what it was a water battle, that could be like a good way to equal out the animosity. If the paratroopers or parasailers had come down with squirt guns and hosed off the festival thing, it would be we'd be talking about a whole different thing. So that's what humor is sometimes. It's putting things that are terrible and horrible and not objectively, really bad, in everybody's viewpoint. War, killing is bad in everybody's viewpoint. And to put that in a whole different thing, like if it was a water thing, but it wasn't, like that. But if it was a water thing and they squared them, then, Israel would be like, we got to retaliate for this. And and they'd be dropping water bombs and water missiles, and all Palestine's just soaked with water and everything. And then what would America's viewpoint have? But see, then it's not funny anymore. See, then the humor goes out of it because Israel would be able to cut off the water supply to Palestine. Palestine would have no more water to squirt any more water pistols. And then Israel would just rain down with all the water missiles and everything that you could imagine. And everybody in Palestine would just be soaked. And where would America's viewpoint have to be on that? Well, I think we'd have to be on Palestine's side. It's just like that's not fair anymore. Judanese theoretical perspectives. And, but so then you could see, well, let's soak them from river to sea. Let's just soak them. But that's different than the perspective that people are looking at it as. The killing is evil. The killing is bad, and it's not funny in that. And in the horror of things, we have to sometimes try and take it out of the horror to see it, make it amusing. Okay? But we can't because that's not reality, So there's a conjective thing that we got to pull it back into. So pulling it back into reality, we can't do that with it. We still have to view it as it is. Well, let's view it as it is. The state of Israel, what it is, and our ally, what is the state of Israel? People talk about being the Jewish state. Well, okay, here in America, we believe in separation of church and state, okay? And that's something in the Jewish state that implies religious connotations. And some people say, no, that's racial. Well, if it's racial, then it's a racist religion. I mean, if it's the race is the religion, then it's a racist religion. Okay, and so what makes them our allies in all this? It's like pretty much the most un-American concept of a nation that we could imagine, because the Arab states aren't like that. You got the Bedouin mixed right in with the Arabs. They're, some of them are black and some of them are brown, and people like to throw around this term sand nigger, and they do, and that takes the connotation out to be like, the joking thing is that like black people in America say that word nigga is a friendly connotation, and white people can be like, well, you guys say it a lot and we don't mean it bad. But when they throw in the word sand nigger, what are they really saying? They're really taking out any sort of conjunction that it ever could be anything other than less than us. And, and I could be considered a white nigger, and I would be proud to be called that, because somebody that thinks they're higher than me and above me to call me that, I welcome it, because that just means you're fucking wrong. Because nobody's better than anybody. I believe in equality of all peoples, and I believe in the American way. And therefore, I believe in the American concept, and therefore, I don't see any other way than to view this conflict going on over there. Amen.